So on Monday, a transgender man, aka a naturally born female, shot through the locked glass doors of a private Christian school in Nashville, grade pre-K to 6th grade, and killed 3 9-year-olds and 3 adults in their 60s. Now, we're gonna pretty much talk about what our opinions are in this situation. First, we're gonna break down what happened.
And give our opinions throughout.
There you go.
So yeah, we're going to discuss them, give our opinions, tell you guys what happened because it is quite the tragedy.
So it was around
10 o'clock in the morning when she got
10
in there?
o'clock in the morning. She actually messaged her friend, pretty much telling her that she's going to do something terrible and that she was going to die. Luckily, the friend did call the police, but it was only a few minutes after she had messaged her friend that she entered the private Christian school and started shooting.
Now, she didn't enter because the doors were unlocked. She shot through the glass doors and forced her way into the building. It wasn't like the doors were just willy-nilly open.
No, she shot right through the glass and then went through and looked for victims. Well, around 10:13 in the morning was the first 911 call that came into the police saying that there was an active shooter, and the police showed up, and within the span of 10 to 14 minutes, they had entered the school and eradicated the shooter,
Eliminated the problem.
which was quite fast.
It's crazy because we were talking about Uvalde. We all remember because it wasn't long ago. And they sat outside and did literally nothing while tons of kids were murdered.
Over 300 police officers were there, and it took them 75 minutes to eradicate the threat, in which case every child in that classroom had been killed. So
15
the
minutes.
police response in Nashville was incredible.
Ridiculous.
That's how
It should
it should be done.
Fuck yeah, that's how it should be done. They are probably the best examples of how cops should handle a situation like this.
Mm-hmm.
They got in there so fast. If you watch the videos, they did it so ridiculously well that by the time they saw the shooter, they were incapacitated. They could not do any more damage.
As soon as they saw her, they shot her and took her down.
If you see it, the second they saw her, threat eliminated.
Yeah, footage is online.
We won't put it up because,
She texted her friend, said that she was going to do something bad. She was going to kill herself. I already said this.
Yeah, she said something bad's going to happen. Something terrible. She's going to be on the news. And then she, confessed a lot of feelings to this woman. You're the most beautiful person I've ever met. Some weird-ass shit. She admitted to her friend that she left enough evidence and that there was proof as to why she did this, which leads to the whole manifesto, yes.
Well, the trans man / naturally born female left a manifesto. When she texted her friend before she did the shooting, she mentioned that she left hints and information about why she did what she did, in which case there is speculation that this might have been retaliation because of legislation against the quote-unquote trans agenda, which I believe is just complete and utter
Propaganda, yeah. It's sad because they're all saying that this is because of the law that was passed in Tennessee denying children gender-affirming care. But look at what the gender-affirming care did for her.
Okay, so the media, there are two sides of the media that I've noticed after this shooting. There's the left side of the media, and then there is the right side. The left side of the media that I've been watching has only focused on gun regulations and gun laws. The right side of the media is talking about more mental health. That's pretty much it. Not much of the trans ideology, but more about the mental health aspect, the medications she was taking. Was she taking medications? Was she taking hormones? We don't know. If she was taking hormones, she would be taking testosterone, in which case that can make a person euphoric and aggressive. Now, if she was not taking testosterone, let's say she was just taking an SSRI, that is not going to do what she did. It's not. I know this firsthand. I've taken a multitude amount of SSRIs, different medications having to do with depression. And it does not coincide with mass shootings whatsoever. This is more of a mental health crisis that I see.
Well, they said that she was under the care of a physician at the time, yes?
Yes.
So I would assume maybe she was on like antipsychotics that didn't agree with her.
I don't think so.
I'm not saying that's
my opinion.
No,
This is your opinion.
no.
This is mine.
This is all speculation, obviously. When I say maybe, that should. But still, I can only see someone being on antipsychotics leading them to homicidal tendencies. Now, with this manifesto, that's where these big questions come in. She said in the text that she left information as to why.
She shot up this private Christian school.
As to why she did it, as to why this happened.
Now, remember, she was a student of this private Christian school at one time.
So this manifesto here has to outline her thought process.
Does it have to?
Yes, because it's her manifesto. Whatever she was thinking, she wrote down.
Okay.
So whatever her ideology was is expressed word for word in every page of that book. And we have no idea what's in there yet. It's what's on everyone's mind. What was her reasoning? What was her rationale behind doing that?
I have an idea. I have an opinion on the matter.
No rational human, no even slightly mentally unwell human who has depression or anxiety would come to this conclusion. So why?
Personal opinion? Being an individual who grew up in the 80s and the 90s, where being gay was pretty much a crime in itself, and being in a private Catholic school, because I was in a private Catholic school from kindergarten to 6th grade.
If you were in school today, this could have been you.
Right.
Yes.
But when I was in school, we didn't have social media. We didn't have TikTok, Instagram, any of that shit. We didn't have AOL. We didn't have any of that stuff. So if I was to put myself, a 28-year-old person of today experiencing this whole mental issue thing, I honestly think the gender ideology thing would have really messed me up. Because at first, I would know that I was gay. I would know that I'm attracted to women, right? But I don't want to look like a woman. I don't want to put on makeup. I don't want to have to deal with like putting on dresses and high heels and shit like that. It's very uncomfortable. I want to be comfortable in my body, right? I want to be comfortable in the clothes that I'm wearing. The clothes that I'm wearing, the clothes that I want to wear are clothes that are more loose-fitting, more comfortable. Men's clothing, right? Now, if I have Christian parents who are completely against this, right? They're completely against me being gay, against wearing male clothing. Maybe if I'm in my 20s, I want to push back.
Yeah, resilience.
And so I'm going to push back a little bit harder
Resistance.
because, see, I'm going through social media and I'm seeing a lot of ideologies, a lot of like women who look like me, but they're not just gay, they're trans.
That's
but
what I
they
must
seem
be.
happy. So maybe that's what the fuck I'm missing. I'm depressed, right? I'm gay, but maybe what I'm missing, maybe the happiness comes from actually transitioning myself into being a man. Maybe that's where I can find my happiness. And my parents, they don't accept me for who I am, so they find me a therapist or a doctor. This doctor either affirms me or gives medication of some sort. Either way, in my Nina personal opinion, psychiatrists don't spend enough time with you in order to be able to give you medications.
Yeah,
But if I was her, I probably already got those medications.
it's easy enough.
Now, if they're SSRIs, that is not going to make me so crazy and so mentally unstable that I shoot children. If I was on testosterone, there is the big difference because testosterone does change someone, especially women. I mean, if the hormones from going through your period every month can change your personality and change your emotions, can you imagine what having that amount of testosterone in your body as a woman can do to your brain?
You're right. Because have you ever met a woman on her period?
Yes.
Okay, have you ever known a woman, met her not on her period, and then seen her once she hits her period?
Yes, the hormones definitely change your chemical makeup. It
I've
seems like it
seen-
really changes the chemical shit that's going on inside your head.
I've seen women go from the nicest motherfuckers to the meanest motherfuckers just because they're on the rag. Which brings me to another point I wanted to bring up. There's a statistic we found when it comes to this whole mass shooter idea,
Yes.
which is that 98% are committed by males.
98% of mass shootings are committed by males.
Yes.
So why is this one different? Why is this a woman? Is it because she had the testosterone of a male? Is it because she was indoctrinated into an ideology which made her feel like she was a victim, so she had to retaliate against Christians who are obviously against being gay and trans and all that stuff? I don't know. What I do know is that as a Catholic, I didn't have the issues of being ostracized as a gay woman. With evangelical, righteous Christians, I was pretty much told I was going to burn in hell. But That was in the 90s, and that was in the 2000s, and that was like a 2% that I encountered when it came to like religious people. Because most of them, they treated me kindly. It was only the radical Christians that were pretty much trying to tell me, you're going to burn in hell if you don't have sex and marry a man. But I don't think this was her issue at all. I don't think
No.
she encountered this at all because
No.
this is a new day. This is a new dawn.
No, because I, as we all know, had the radical Christian parents.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never, ever be on the news for any mass shootings, for anything like this. So I highly doubt it has anything to do with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think it has a lot to do with the way they perceive the world and how, like you said, narcissistic they are. Because if you're going to sit there and take out 3 children and 3 adults minimum, you didn't want to die alone, or you wanted to make sure you died in such a big way that everyone knew who you were. And either way, that's narcissistic as a motherfucker. Notice the media all over the place. Now, this is a biological woman who identified as a man.
Mm-hmm.
But every media source you see speaking about it says a woman
Yeah.
shot up, a female shot up a private Christian school. So, for all those creators out there who got banned, canceled, demonetized
For
for misgendering someone, are you not really just like itching at that? CNN can say it, Fox can say it, but God forbid you do?
What?
They can say the wrong gender, but if you do, you're fucked.
I've been watching the left's media. Being someone who is actually, I'm an actual liberal. We
Yeah.
took the political compass test.
It's in there.
We are liberals.
Yes.
But when you compare the left media to the right media's coverage on this subject, it's very different. The left seems to be hiding and covering up a lot of this. They're a trans person. This might have something to do with the shooting. They're covering that up and going right to guns, gun
Blaming.
legislation,
Gun
all that
control.
stuff, gun control. Yeah, that's what the left is doing. When it comes down to it, now I'm someone who I don't have a very solid opinion on gun rights. What I do have to say about gun rights is I think that everyone should have a weapon in order to defend themselves and their home, unless they are mentally unstable, in which case there should be some sort of mental health check in order for someone to be able to get a gun.
Oh, yeah.
Because that person who is under, mental health care should never have been able to get a gun in the first place. So I'll
Which is
say
another
that.
question they
But
ask.
I am not going to say get rid of guns. I think everyone should have a right to be able to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't think mentally unwell people should be able to get guns. I think that's a major issue right there.
There's a difference in being able to defend yourself and being able to harm others. And the slight line between that, unfortunately, is a gun.
Now, why do you think she targeted a school with children instead of a mall or wherever she was going to
Well,
target first?
She did
Because
have
she was
plans.
going to target a place first, but she decided against that because there was more security.
I feel like giving my answer is unfair because I think your answer was the best answer that I've heard yet.
What's that?
You said that it's a matter of ease. It's a matter of these are not people that will fight back. Number one, it was less guarded. We know that as a fact. That's
It
just
was
a fact.
less guarded, yes.
That's a fact. However, we talked about the different situations. And if you go to somewhere like a mall or a park, most of those people, especially at 10 o'clock in the morning when everyone's
be
at school,
adults.
are going to be adults, right? But if you
Mhm.
go to a school, those are all children.
Majority children and then very few adults, which are teachers, custodians, etc.
And these are not people who can fight you. Now, as someone who's born female, you're smaller in stature. You have less muscle mass. You have less skeletal bone structure
So you go for the victims that are the easiest,
because they won't fight you back.
which are children.
They're going to hide in a corner and wait.
Yep. And then you have to only worry about one adult.
And this is your theory, not mine. However, I think it's a very, very strong theory as to why.
Thank
I
you.
don't understand still how you can get to that point. But,
I do.
But I get why that's your that's why that's your target. If I'm gonna try and get if I'm hunting and I see a deer that's limping or I see a deer that's running just fine, I'm gonna go for the limping deer because it's an easier shot. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I shouldn't go. Stupid bullshit.
My opinion on how she got to the point where she actually committed this mass shooting If you're interested in knowing my opinion on that, comment below.
We'll release a part 2 tomorrow. Watch us.
But let us know if you want to see a part 2. I would like to say that I am very sorry for the parents and family of the people who lost their lives because of a mentally unstable person. It is not fair. It is not just. It's disgusting. And we need to change shit.
This is what dawned on me the most, sorry. I have no children, but the thought of getting a call saying, come to the school and see if your child is one of the ones that passed away or see if you get to take them home. That is why I don't have a kid. That's why I don't want a kid. Because if I ever had to have that phone call, I would be the most mentally unwell person on this planet. If I found out my kid was dead or even got close to a situation where they saw something like that, I put my kid in a private Christian school for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening to them. I will not be having kids. That's where I'm closing this. I will not be having kids because of exactly situations like this.
I've never wanted to have children, and I'm very happy I never did, and I never wanted to because of the state of the world now. But I know for a fact, on the numerous thousands and thousands of hours I have done on watching people who have lost other loved ones in their lives, the people who have lost their children, I know for a fact, without having to experience it, is the worst pain any adult can experience in their life, is losing their child. And I think it is reprehensible, it is abhorrent, and it is disgusting what this person did. And any person who is forcing or trying to push any sort of ideology that this shooter is supposed to be a martyr can go fuck themselves. It is disgusting. This person is not a martyr. This person, if there is a hell, deserves to burn horrifically in it. Thank you.
I pray to God if there's one. She's actively burning now.